I probably should have used this as an intro starting from episode 1 talking about the Witcher TV show, but I'm starting it now. For those of you who are fans of the Witcher TV show and you've stumbled upon this video, any of you want to even try to defend this show? Anybody? Anybody at all? Well, of course not, because we both know you can't defend this show. You know you can't defend this show. Which is why around this time in the video, the majority of you have already left. Because God knows you can't handle any criticism of this show you love so much and actually find out how laughable and how laughably stupid this show actually is and how brain dead stupid you have to be able to make it through this show. And oddly enough, episode 4 is a great example. In fact, it actually starts with an example of how stupid this show is and how laughable it is. And that's with Ciri entering the forest or being compelled to enter the forest. Why? No, seriously. Why is Ciri compelled to enter the forest? Now, if you're a fan of the show and you've actually lasted this long, congratulations. But you're most likely going to say, well, the forest did it. Okay, but why? No, I'm asking, why did the forest compel Ciri to enter the forest? She has no interaction. She literally goes in, spends a couple of days, gets found by the doppelganger, and then leaves. At the end of the episode, when she confronts the tree, right, in that little dream vision, nothing comes of it. So there is literally no reason for Ciri to have been compelled to enter the forest, except the writers are so inept and don't care anyway that they couldn't figure out how to get Ciri into the forest, so they went, the forest did it? Is that good enough? And guess what, boys and girls? It was for you, because it's not like you care or it matters to you. And not only that, I'm watching them, and she's entering the forest, and the dryads are all there, and they're all, got their spears and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, so out of curiosity, why didn't they shoot Ciri when she was approaching? Like, why didn't they shoot Ciri, but they shot Dara? Because, fuck you, that's why. This show has no idea what it's doing. It's literally just having scenes happen without any explanation, without any justification. And you know why? Because you fans of this show don't need any. This show can do whatever it wants, and you wouldn't know the difference anyway. Oh yeah, and then Ciri goes, I don't know how I got here. Darling, nobody knows how you got there. Nobody can explain how you got there or why you're there in the first place, other than the fact that you are nothing but filler. Your storyline is nothing but filler. Then we have the bard at the feast. And it's like, why is the bard at the feast? Why is the bard? He's not a guest. Like, why is he there? And it's like, he's playing? Why is the bard playing at this feast? And you're going, because he's a bard. What? Queen Calanth doesn't have her own musicians? Queen Calanth doesn't have her own bards? She couldn't find a bard in the entire city of Sintra? It's not like the bard, I can't remember his name. It's not like the bard that's with The Witcher is a Citran citizen. We don't even know where he's from. But we don't even know where he is in the goddamn continent. But for some reason, Queen Calanth hired this nobody bard that nobody knows to come play at her daughter's betrothal feast? Why? Well, because fuck you, that's why. The show had no way of getting the Geralt or the bard to the Citran, Queen Calantha's daughter's betrothal feast. So, because he's a bard and they need a bard, they hired him. How? When did they hire him? How did they hire him? He's seriously. Do you understand the level of forced stupid that's necessary to keep this show going? There is nothing to establish the Bard even being hired. How would they even know he even exists to even hire him? Okay, this is a small thing, but it's just so hilarious how pathetic and stupid this show is. So Geralt is talking to Mousak, and Geralt asks Mousak, "How long do I have to be here?" "Why in the name of God are you asking Mousak? You're not a guest, Geralt. You're here for the Bard. Remember? You're here to bodyguard the Bard. Shouldn't you be asking the Bard how long you have to be here? Why would Mousak know how long you have to? You don't want to be here. What do you mean how long you have to be here? Did this show actually forget that Geralt doesn't want to be here? Did this show forget that the reason he's here is to protect the Bard? If there's anybody he should be asking how long he has to be here, wouldn't it be the Bard? Wouldn't the Bard know how long he has? This show not only doesn't know what it's doing, it doesn't care. Okay, here's another small example. It's silly too, but again, it's just so laughable. You have it that the Bard is confronted by that angry lord or whatever who, and Geralt goes, "Oh, my lord, he was kicked by an ox as a child," or whatever. And then the lord goes, tosses a coin to the Bard and says, "Go drown your sorrows." He's at an open bar. He's at a feast. You don't have to pay for drinks. So, when he tossed him the coin, I was like, what? Why is he tossing him a coin? I know it's not a big stupid by any means, but it was like, do the show writers not know what's going on? That the Lord tossed him a coin to buy alcohol at a feast where it's an open bar? I was just... Then Geralt goes to the Bard and says, "Okay, we're even now. You're on your own." Okay? He saved his life once, and apparently that's all he had to do, which makes sense because remember, Geralt doesn't want to be there. Okay? So then Geralt goes, "We're even now," and I'm thinking, okay, he's about to leave, except he doesn't leave. He's staying, and it's like, hey, show! Hey, boys and girls! Geralt doesn't want to be there! Remember? I mean, how do you... this was such a viable excuse for Geralt to go, "Okay, I saved your life once, we're even, I'm done, I paid my debt, I'm going home." But instead, he sticks around. Why? Because the show needs him to. Screw the fact that Geralt is already established he doesn't want to be here. Screw story, screw plot, screw logic. They want Geralt there, so fuck you, Geralt stay. It's like, why is Geralt staying? Because fuck you, he is. It's just... Oh, Yennefer and the Queen. Oh my god, I love this. This one broke me. This one broke me, I swear to God. Okay, follow me on this. Okay. So, we have Yennefer accompanying the Queen. Why? Why is Yennefer accompanying the Queen? She's a court mage, not a bodyguard. There's no reason that Yennefer should be accompanying the Queen. Now that alone is enough. But get this. Here's another reason why Yennefer shouldn't have been accompanying the Queen. The king wants to assassinate the Queen. Why would the king, who knows that Yennefer is that there's a mage accompanying and protecting the queen, why would he then send a mage or an assassin to try and kill the queen when he knows there's a mage protecting her? You're fucking morons! This is... How stupid are you? This is ridiculous! Not only is this forced, but the logic of it is beyond rationale. It's like the writers literally had the king go, okay, I'm gonna have the mage accompany and protect the queen. This will be a good time to send an assassin to try and kill her with a mage protecting her who could end up, foiling and stopping the plan. He should have, if the king had planned the assassination, okay, wouldn't he have had any excuse not to have Yennefer join her? Why would you send a mage to protect someone you want assassinated? My God, the king should have gone, we can't send Yennefer, there's court business that needs to be dealt with. I'll just send, a 2 extra or 3 extra disposable bodyguards. No, I'm gonna send the mage with you during my assassination attempt. I hope nothing goes wrong. Oh shit. This was just so, you're idiots, okay? You're idiots for not catching any of this. The writers are idiots. The show is a joke, okay? Just this scene alone. Except wait, there's more, okay? Now, I love, okay, where is it? Then we got this line, right, about how Yennefer gives this bitch sob story victimhood bullshit about, I love how I traded everything to get my seat at court. What the fuck did she trade? No, seriously. What did she give up? Nothing. Oh, wait, hold on. She gave up being deformed. She gave up living a life with a father that hates her, being treated like shit, being treated like dirt, constantly ridiculed, constantly abused. She gave all that up. Oh, you poor little child. You gave all that up. That's what you trade. Who? Do the writers of the show not know anything about Yennefer's background? Yennefer got everything she wanted when she hit that school. Okay? She got to have that body modification thing, even though she shouldn't. She got to be the court mage of Aiden, even though she should. She gave up jack and shit. And this show and this story and this writer is trying to get us to try to sympathize that she gave up. Fuck you! Fuck you, show! Fuck you, writers! Fuck you, fanboys! This is insane. And then it's like, well, wait a minute. Okay, so you've been doing this for 30 years and you hate it. Why don't you leave? No, seriously, again, why doesn't she leave? Because after the assassination attempt, she leaves anyway. She stops being the court mage and she ends up, going at work in some little town as an herbalist. So, and there's no repercussions. There's no backlash. This show literally establishes that Yennefer could have left any time during those 30 years without any problems. Because when Yennefer left, when Yennefer eventually leaves, she didn't know there was going to be repercussions. And even if she did, she didn't care, obviously. So, she could have easily have left any time as a court mage. Because Mousak, right? Like later on in the show, when we were introduced to Mousak was working for another court, for another king, and then at the end of the episode goes, oh, I think I'll just stay here and guide Palvetta. What do you mean? You can, like, court mages can just go, yeah, I quit, I'm moving? If that's the case, there was literally no reason that Yennefer had to stay as a court mage for 30 years that she hated, except this was the show trying to give some pathetic attempt at trying to sympathize. You suck at character development, show writers. You suck at it. Any level, anything beyond surface level understanding of what's going on, your entire show falls apart. You have to be brain dead morons to be able to make it through this show. You do, okay? Then we have the assassination attempt, and then she portals. Okay, how does magic work in this show? Okay? Nobody, you can't explain it to me. You can't, okay? Because she creates a portal, okay, and is suddenly in the desert. Okay, wait a minute. How do portals work? Like, did she open up a portal to a destination she already knew? Because if that's the case, that would have meant she would have had to have been at that desert at one point and then decided that would have been the place that she would portal to. Either you know the destination of the portal or it's random. Okay? But here's the problem. In episode 2, I think it was, when they're about to have the ascent, the three girls were about to ascend, and Yennefer didn't get picked. She portaled to the pool, like up on a crag area, to overlook the ascending process. How did Yennefer even know that room existed? How was Yennefer able to teleport there? This show doesn't know what it's doing. This show is pulling bullshit out of its ass, throwing it at the screen, because you fans of this show are too stupid to understand what's going on. There was no way I should probably cover this in episode 2, but I'm doing Portal, so. In episode 2, there was no way Yennefer could have created a portal to a place she'd never been to and didn't even know existed. So, the creation of portals is absolute bullshit. This episode, you have it that she opened up a portal and it just happened to be in the middle of the desert. Does that mean that the portals are random? Like, did she just open up a random portal? Because if that's the case, what happened if she portaled over the ocean? Or portaled into a volcano? Like, how does portaling work in this show? None of you know. None of you care. You're all too stupid. Okay? That's why you love this show. You turned on you binge watched it. At this point, you're in a goddamn coma. Anything can happen and you don't care. You're fine with it because you're brain dead. Okay? And the fact that you can't explain Yennefer portaling where she does and how it works establishes that 100%. I'll give it another $1,000. I'll bet another $1,000. I'll give $1,000 to any of the writers of this show to explain how portals work in this show. And guess what? None of them can answer it. Because there is no answer to how portals work. It just works however the show needs it to for the scene that they need it to. Then Yennefer it says that the king sent the assassin. How does she know this? There's no way for her to know that the king sent the assassin. It could have been a rival kingdom or whatever. It could have been somebody after the Yennefer. But you know what? Because the show needs you to understand what's going on, they made it so that Yennefer knew so that she could tell you, because since you guys are brain dead at this point, you need everything spelled out for you. So even though there's no way Yennefer would have... Hell, the Queen would have had that assumption way before Yennefer did. And the Queen thought that was a brigand. The Queen thought that was a brigand with that creature. Really? Really? Then the assassin shows up, and the assassin can portal. How? How can he portal? Is he a mage? No. Because he would have used more... Because if he's a mage, why didn't he use magic? Why did he just throw that... Like, how does magic work in this world, fanboys? Okay? You don't know. You don't care. You're too stupid to know the difference. Oh, then she ran the portals to another place, right? And this, I love this. So you have the scene where she's slowing down the creature, right? And then opening up a portal so that they can escape, right? Okay. Now, this is important later on. I'm highlighting this now because I'm going to talk about it later on. Okay, because now we're going back to the betrothal feast, right? And Dunny shows up. Now, okay, Dunny shows up and can't reveal himself until the 12th bell. Okay, then why didn't you wait until the 12th bell to make your appearance? Like, hey Dunny, if you had showed up at 12:05, because this whole shindig is going on until the dawn. Like, there's no time limit to who can go first or when. Okay? So first of all, Lord Dunny could have easily have shown up at 12:05, being regular face, and had done all this. But then how would you have gotten the forced bullshit fight that ended up ensuing? The show literally had to make Dunny so goddamn stupid to go, what? Oh, I have to go now. I have to go now in full face, in full cursed porcupine face or hedgehog face, and risk it. Like, or better yet, here's the thing. He's going by law of surprise. Okay? He could have gone yesterday or a week before. He overrides everybody else trying to vie for the Queen's hand, or Palvetta's hand. The law of surprise overrides everyone. He didn't have to wait until this particular day to announce the law of surprise. He could have done it any time. But again, the show is too stupid to figure that out. You as an audience are too stupid to figure it out. So to have it that forced scene of the fight, they had to have it that Dunny and you as an audience are so stupid that he could only do it today because this is the betrothal day. Then Geralt says he won't kill it because it's not a monster, he's been cursed. How does he know this? No, fuck you, because that's why. Dunny is attacked by only 2 guards, and then he's left alone as the other guards stand back so that Dunny can explain the law of surprise. And the Queen does and says nothing, and then the rest of the guards start attacking, even though, everyone understands the law of surprise significance, but you know what, screw it. And then Dunny is down and about to be killed, and Palvetta doesn't use her Banshee scream, right? Bullshit, okay? Bullshit. Because this would have been an absolute perfect time for her to use it, except, no, we're going to wait till later because the writers know that Dunny's not going to die, so why have Palvetta use her Banshee scream now? So Ice says law of surprise is called. Everyone accepts the importance of the law of surprise, so why are they attacking? Well, because the show needs a fight, okay? Screw logic, screw storyline, screw, plot, anything. Now, during the fight, we know Mousak is there. Why doesn't Mousak do anything? Does Queen Calanth not have a mage? A court mage? Like, speaking of Mousak, Here's another thing. Okay. The Queen knew Dunny was coming, which is why she tried to hire the Witcher to kind of like, in case something happens, can I count on you to kill somebody, right? The Witcher says no. At that point, the Witcher's use to the Queen is done. Why didn't she go ask Mousak? She wants Dunny dead. She knows Dunny's coming. So she should have gone, okay, Witcher, you're out, done, get out. Mousak, get your ass over here. Mousak, in case something happens, because it's not like Mousak has the bullshit, self-righteous, nothing morals that they're trying to portray that Geralt has, right? So there's no reason why, Mousak, or whoever the court mage is, if they even have one, the Queen would have either have gone to the court mage or Mousak and said, hey, Mousak, in case something happens, fireball this guy in case something happens. But then that would have actually have caused Dunny to get killed. So you can't actually have what should have worked, what made sense or should have happened actually happened, because the writers don't know what the fuck they're doing. And you as an audience are strung along by this series of stupid events. What was that? Isn't that a book? Series of unfortunate events. This show is a series of stupid events. That's a good idea. I could have used that for a title now. No, so now the fighting has apparently gone on long enough, and they need to find a way to end it. So the best the writers could come up with is the Queen decides, okay, stop fighting. That's the best they can do. The Queen decides, stop fighting. Why? Because fuck you. That's why. Why does this show suddenly need a reason? This show can do whatever it wants, and you brain dead fanboys wouldn't know the difference anyway. Then we're back to the assassin and the Queen. Oh, then Yennefer shows up. Okay? Then Yennefer. This establishes how absolutely full of shit this show is, how full of shit the writers are, and once again, how bullshit, brain dead, stupid you fans of this show are. Because Yennefer portals in and instantly cuts the head off the creature. He's like, wait a minute. You mean Yennefer could have killed the creature at any time? Then why didn't she do this when she first saw the assassin in the first place, you boneheads? I mean, the show literally established her running and portaling, her creating that slow-mo thing so that she could open up the portal. All of that was bullshit. She could have killed the creature. So let me see if I get this straight. She opens up a portal, instantly kills the creature. So then when the creature jumped at her, why did she, do that little slow motion thing when she could have decapitated it instantly? Explain to me why I should take this show Explain to me how you take this show seriously if you're not brain dead morons. Other than being a brain dead, this show literally establishes that Yennefer could have killed the creature at any time without any problem. So we're back at the feast, and Dunny explains how he got the Law of Surprise. Okay, no, wait a minute. Dunny would have had to have saved the king before Palvetta was born. Because, or either before she was born, Queen Connacht must have been pregnant at the time, okay? Because the birth of Palvetta was the surprise that Dunny got to claim. So how old is Dunny? Or at the very least, how old was Dunny when he saved the king? Because Dunny looks pretty much the same age as Palvetta. So maybe he's a couple of years older. So what, are you telling me for this to have worked, Dunny would have had to have been, what, 3, 4 years old when he saved the king's life? Because you have to go back to however old Pavetta is, to when she was born. Okay? She wasn't born yet. Dunny could have only laid the law of surprise before Pavetta was born. If Dunny is pretty much the same age as Pavetta, he must have been 3 or 4 years old when Queen Calanth was pregnant with Pavetta. So what? Dunny at 3, 4 years old saved the king's life? How? What were the circumstances of a 3 to 4 year old Dunny able to save the king's life? But if that wasn't enough, let me see if I get this straight. A 3 or 4 year old kid saves the king, and the king goes, I'm in your debt. And a 4 year old kid's gonna invoke the law of surprise? Bullshit! This is just out of their ass come on! Dunny is literally looks to be the same age as Pavetta. So what? He had to have been a kid. A 4 or 5 year old kid's gonna invoke the law of surprise? He wouldn't even have known the law of surprise existed. But again, the show has no idea what it's doing. The show doesn't care because it knows that you as an audience are too stupid to realize how stupid it is that Dunny was able to... then the queen says, okay, I bow to no law made by man who never bore a child. The betrothal feast! You're at a betrothal. The betrothal feast is established as a law made by man that you are following. You even established how you hate that it's a law of man and that you have to bow. I will bow to no man. You've been doing it this entire feast, you dumb bitch. You stupid ass. Hey, writers, you've established that the queen is following the law of man at this betrothal feast, and she had to change from her armor to a dress because the law of man demanded it for her at this betrothal feast. She will not bow down to the law of surprise, but she'll bow down to the fact that she has to change her dress? You're fucked. This show is fucked beyond belief. Okay? You're trying to establish that Queen Calanth is the strong female who will bow down to the law of no man, but does it the entire betrothal feast and changes a dress, changes from her armor into a dress because she, guess what, bowed to the law of man that required her to. You're fucked. Okay? You're fucked. Also, did Dunny ever try to find out how to break this curse? Or did he just decide to, be another victimhood mentality that this show is full of? I mean, him and Yennefer would have gotten along great. Like, seriously, did he literally expect to just spend the rest of his life with this curse? Did he not try to figure out how to resolve it? Or go to a witcher, or go to a mage, or anything? Like, not only that, how are you supposed to break this curse? Nobody knows. Nobody can. Apparently, Dunny had no problem never figuring out or learning how to break this curse. Because he was okay with it. Oh, then we have Pavetta and the scream, right? And then the whirlwind. This is another example of the show and the writers going, who gives a shit what the rules of magic are? We can make it up as we go along. The audience is too goddamn stupid to know the difference. Okay, how is Pavetta doing what she's doing? Okay, she's basically speaking an incantation to create the whirlwind? Is she a mage? Did she learn this incantation? Because if she didn't learn this incantation, how is she speaking an elvish incantation unless she was taught this? But was she taught it? No, because later on, when we have Mousak and Geralt, Mousak says she has access to primal power, and Geralt says, yeah, with no idea how to control it. Magic requires two things: control and something else, right? One of the things that it needs is control. Apparently, she never learned control. She never learned magic. So how is Palvetta, who never learned magic, is somehow spouting off an elven incantation, casting this spell? You have no clue. You have no clue. Okay? I don't... There's no point in insulting you anymore because, first of all, none of you are left. There's no fans of this show left. So I don't know... So me insulting the fans of this show is pretty much stupid at this point. It's irrelevant. Then I says to Queen, do you believe in destiny now? It's like, how does her screaming and casting that spell of a whirlwind have anything to do with destiny? Oh wait, it doesn't! And then Queen Callant says, destiny has spoken. No, it hasn't. Like, this is the show literally not knowing how to get Queen Callant, or to get Queen Callant to accept the fact that Dany should marry Palvetta. So this was destiny. Her casting that whirlwind spell, that was destiny. How? No, it wasn't. And then destiny has spoken? No, it didn't. And then we're like Queen Callant literally decides to let them marry because Palvetta screamed and cast a spell. Because the writers have no idea what to do. They have no idea how else to do it. Then she says the law of surprise will be honored. So much for not bowing down to the laws of man. Like, I will not follow the laws of surprise because I will not bow down to any law made by man. And then about 10 minutes later goes, yeah, I guess I will then. What great fortitude you have, Queen Callant. I love how you really stick to your guns. Then we're back to Ciri. Oh, okay. And then Dara says to Ciri, I drank the waters. And I'm going, why does he sound like it was a choice? Because the Dryad said that they had to drink it. They had no choice because they want to find out if your intentions are ill or pure. Then they give it to Ciri, and then they say, join us, drink and forget. And it's like, no, you dumbass writers. The reason they're supposed to drink is to find out whether or not their intentions are ill or not to forget. Like, did you actually forget the reason they're supposed to drink the water in the first place? Like, they're not supposed to drink it once and then forget. They're supposed to drink it once and reveal their intent. I'm gonna bypass Yennefer's monologue on the beach. So then Palvetta and Dany are joined, they kiss, and that conveniently breaks the curse. How? Why? Because fuck you, that's why. Then Mousak and Geralt talk, and Mousak says that he's gonna stay and guide her. What are you talking about? First of all, you just discovered that she has this ability. Why wouldn't you take her to Aretuza to find out what the hell's going on? Have her studied, have her tested, have her trained. Geralt already said she has no way of controlling it. And not only that, how does Mousak get to decide that he's going to guide her? Like how does court mages work? Like, in the beginning of the episode, he's established He's already a court mage for another king. And then he goes, I'm going to sit here and guide her. Like, do you not even have to give 2 weeks notice? Like, do the writers of this show not remember that Mousak works for another king? Or do they just not care? I think I'm going to go along with they just don't care. Oh, and then later Geralt says that the girl was using her magic. And it's like, make up your mind, right? Either she's using magic or she's not using magic. But the show is so the show is so fucked that it's meaningless now. Oh, so now we're back to Sintra that's been burned and Queen Calanthe is dead. So they cut a square in Queen Calanthe's arm and eats it. The guy that eats it is cut open. They see the entrails, and from that, they decide that Ciri is in Broccolon Forest. Okay, no magic was cast, no spell or incantation was used, nothing. Okay, they did it like it was a standard operating procedure. Like he took it, didn't murmur a spell or anything, just took the piece of flesh, ate it. I forget which mage it is. One of the mages from the school, right? Cuts him open, his entrails spell. She looks at it and is like, "Oh, I know where Ciri is." How the fuck did you do that? Like, this show is now so goddamn lazy, it's not even bothering using magic. They're just gonna pull out whatever bullshit they can think of and go, "Yeah, that was good enough." But then, okay, hold on. Okay, but when did this happen? Because, okay, in case you bonehead audience, well, you're not even here anyway. Since, for the writers, since you apparently forgot, did they figure out that Ciri is in whatever forest she's in? Did they discover that Ciri was in the forest before or after the Nilfgaard soldiers went through the forest yelling, "Princess Ciri," and before or after they attacked the Cintran refugee camp? Because these are your only two options, okay? They cut Queen Calanthe first, discovered that Ciri was going to be at the forest, but then went to some other forest yelling Princess Cirilla without even knowing she was there, and then attacked the Citron refugee camp for no reason, and then went, "Okay, now we're going to go to Brocaville or the forest." Or they went to the forest first, yelled Princess Cirilla, then went to the which would have taken at least 2 days. Then went to the refugee camp, burned it all, and then went, "Apparently this isn't working." Then went back to the city of Sintra and then decided to check out, eat the flesh, cut the entrails. That either way, it's stupid. It's stupid. This show is fucked. Okay, this show is fucked beyond all moral comprehension. Then it ends with Ciri drinking the tree sap, and then has some dream vision with the tree that asks, "What are you, child?" Which ends up leading to nothing. Okay, that entire dream sequence, okay, of that tree talking, of the importance of the tree in the forest, just like her entire storyline, was irrelevant, and it was a nothing aspect. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm done. Because this show is a piece of shit. Okay, the lack of mental capacity necessary to get through this show is mind-blowing, okay? Because the stupid is consistent It never ends. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm getting pissed, and this show isn't worth it, to be quite honest. That's it for episode 4. Welcome to the best show on Netflix. Anyway, see you in episode 5. See ya.